Hi there. If you've clicked on this video, I'm guessing life feels like it's too much right now. Maybe there are too many responsibilities piling up, or you're facing decisions that feel impossible to make. Perhaps it feels like no matter what you do, you're just treading water, barely staying afloat. But let me tell you something. It's okay to feel this way. You're not weak and you're not alone. Overwhelm is something we all go through. And together, we're going to work through this feeling step by step. Before we dive in, I want you to take a deep breath. Inhale deeply through your nose, hold it, and exhale. Let's do that one more time. Inhale deeply, hold it for a moment, and let it out. Now, I want you to grab a pair of earphones, if you haven't already, and place your phone next to you. Let's clear some space for you to just be. No distractions, no judgment, just you and me here in this moment. When life feels overwhelming, it's often because we're carrying too much at once. Think of it like this. Imagine you're carrying a backpack, and every worry, responsibility, or task you have to do is another heavy stone. Over time, the weight of all those stones becomes unbearable. But here's the thing. Some of those stones don't belong in your backpack. Some can be set down, and others can be carried differently. Right now, your job isn't to figure out everything at once. It's to lighten your load, one step at a time. Let's take a moment to understand why you might be feeling overwhelmed. It often comes down to a few common causes. Firstly, you're engaged in too many commitments. You might have taken on more than you can handle. Work, school, family, social obligations. When your plate is too full, it's natural to feel like you cannot manage it all. There's also uncertainty about the future. Sometimes not knowing what's next can really feel paralyzing. It's hard to move forward when you're unsure where you're going. You could also be trapped by perfectionism. If you're trying to do everything perfectly, you're setting yourself up for stress. Nobody on this planet can do everything flawlessly. And you don't have to either. You might also be neglecting yourself. Oftentimes, overwhelm sneaks in when you're not taking care of your basic needs: rest, nourishment, and just time for your own self. Recognizing these causes is the first step in finding a way forward. Now, I want you to close your eyes for a moment. Picture everything that's overwhelming for you. Every responsibility, worry, or decision as a tangled ball of yarn. It's messy, it's knotted, and it feels impossible to to unravel. But here's the thing, you don't need to tangle it all at once. You just need to find one loose thread and then gently pull that. That's what we're going to do together. We're going to find that one thread, one small thing you can focus on right now. When everything feels like too much, start asking yourself, what needs to be done right now? Not everything on your to-do list is urgent, and some things can wait. Grab a piece of paper or open a notes app. Write down everything that's weighing on you, big or small. Once you have it all in front of you, look at it closely. Which three things are the most important? Circle them. These are your priorities for today or this week. Everything else can be tackled later, delegated, or even let go of altogether. One of the reasons overwhelm feels so paralyzing is because we try to tackle everything at once. Instead, break each task into tiny, manageable steps. For example, if you're overwhelmed by a big project, don't focus on completing the whole thing. Focus on one part. Writing an outline, sending an email, or gathering materials. These small wins will eventually build momentum for you to focus on the next steps. If you're overwhelmed because people are asking too much of you, maybe it's time to set some boundaries. It's okay to say no or to ask for help. You don't have to do everything on your own. Think about one area of your life where you can set a boundary today. Maybe it's telling a coworker you need more time on a project, or letting a friend know that you need some space. Close your eyes again. Imagine yourself standing at the edge of a quiet, peaceful lake. You're holding that heavy backpack we talked about earlier. One by one, you take out the stones, the worries, the tasks, the fears, and you toss them into the water. As each stone sinks, you feel lighter and lighter. Eventually, the backpack is empty. You feel free, unburdened, and ready to take a step forward. Let me share a story that might help put things into perspective. Did you know that Walt Disney was told he lacked imagination and was fired from a newspaper job because of it? Can you imagine if he had let that rejection stop him? Instead, he started small, creating cartoons in a garage. That small step eventually grew into the Disney empire we know today. Another story is of Serena Williams, one of the greatest athletes of all time. She didn't achieve this success overnight. She faced setbacks, injuries, and doubts. She didn't let that enormity of her goals overwhelm her. She focused on one match, one practice, one step at a time. If they could move forward despite challenges, I'm sure so can you. I want you to take a moment for some affirmations. Repeat these to yourself, out loud or in your mind. I am allowed to take life one step at a time. I am capable of handling what's in front of me. It's okay to let go of things that don't serve me. My worth is not measured by how much I do. I trust myself to figure things out. Let these affirmations ground you and remind you that you are enough, just as you are. When life feels overwhelming, it's essential to take care of yourself. Here are a few simple things you can do. Pause and breathe. When you feel panic rising, stop and take 3 deep breaths. This simple act can calm your nervous system. Move your body. Take a short walk, some gentle stretching, or even just standing up and moving around can help release your tension. Hydrate and nourish yourself. Sometimes overwhelm is magnified because we forget to eat or drink enough water. I want you to make sure that you're giving your body what it needs. And finally, some rest. It's okay to take a break. Rest is productive too. Before we come towards the end of this video, I want you to know that it's okay to feel overwhelmed. It's a sign that you care, that you're a human. But you don't have to stay stuck in this feeling. You don't have to have all the answers right now. Just focus on the next small step. Trust me that as you keep moving forward, the path will become clearer. Take one last deep breath with me. Inhale deeply, hold it, and exhale slowly. You've got this. Remember, you're not alone, and you are stronger than you realize. I believe in you, and I'm exceptionally proud of you. Good night, sweet dreams, and take care.